artificial intelligence has brought a lot of change and advancements in different industries, including the world of art. AI artworks are becoming increasingly popular, with some works being sold at high prices at auction houses. However, there is growing concern about the ethical implications of AI art, specifically when it comes to AI-generated works that closely resemble or outright plagiarize the works of living artists. Plagiarism in any form, whether it is intentional or not, is a violation of an artist's intellectual property rights. AI artworks that closely resemble the works of living artists could be seen as taking advantage of the artist's hard work and creativity, without giving proper recognition or compensation. This could have a significant impact on the artist's livelihood and reputation, and could lead to a loss of income as their work is devalued by the presence of similar AI works in the market.
In this documentary, we ask young creatives about their usage of AI, and the effect they think these programs will have on the world.
This is an interview with Darren, a young professional user of AI. Hi Darren. How do you use AI?
1. Graphic design inspiration, stable diffusion. Giving a rough prompt or concept and getting many outputs is fantastic when you lack imagination. 2. Making shit memes, see threatening Shrek on Insta for example. 3. Help with academic writing. ChatGPT can summarize academic papers, sometimes with errors, and explain concepts at an intermediate level. 4. ChatGPT can also code, which eliminates a lot of boilerplate work when programming, speeding up the process. It can also explain how to do things, so it's a personal assistant, and also a mentor to a limited extent.
Do you think this new technology is purely a good thing?
Personally, I don't think any new technology can be bad. Its morality is determined by the user. But in context, yes, there are consequences to making these easily accessible, for example easy deepfakes, plagiarism, etc. Ironically, the tool to tackle these will also be AI. More generally, not related to generative AI, there is also the non-public threat of overbearing states using facial recognition and behavior prediction, which is a little scary and dystopian.
Where do you predict AI will bring us next for creative pursuits?
In the creative world, I think some art forms will probably become a numbers game, with it being easier to pump out large quantities of media that have similar quality to bespoke pieces. Similarly, I believe creative writing jobs will largely be automated away in fields where fact summarization is key, for example many parts of journalism. Whether you think that is a good or bad thing depends on your stance on job automation in the first place. I think likely art in the future will be reserved as a hobby rather than a profession, but this is true for almost every job: science, labor, music, office work, etc. If automation is done right, without a societal collapse, we may find ourselves without the need to work.
Do you think government will ever have to regulate AI use?
Yes, it will try, but it might fail, because AI is so complicated. Many AI companies have public interfaces for their AI models which do not fully show off their capabilities. It is going to be extremely hard for any government to decipher what an AI is and isn't doing, because at the end of the day, AI are built using machine learning, which is just an optimization of a network of matrices, big grids of numbers, and there's an entire subfield of computer science dedicated to understanding such models, called machine learning interpretability. Ironically, the tool to detect malicious or overuse of AI may be another AI model. In summary, they should and they will try, but it's hard enough now, let alone in a few years.
How has it sped up your workflow?
An example I could give was I wanted to create a GUI-based application to speed up marking assessments. I didn't really know the best way to organize the code and how to interface the backend with the user-facing side, so I fed ChatGPT my requirements and it wrote me a basic program. I refined it using a few more instructions, and then used some manual programming to tailor it to my exact needs. It worked a charm and would have taken me probably double the time if I didn't use the AI. In my academic use, it serves as a great jumping-off point for any work, but, for now, it can't do much more than that. When ChatGPT tries to write long-form text, it often makes mistakes, and the erroneous content is said with high confidence, which makes things worse. Essentially, right now ChatGPT is a handy tool. In terms of image creation, I don't really have much artist in me, so I enjoy exploring new content by making interesting images that I wouldn't be able to translate into reality without the AI's assistance. In both the writing and image creation case, the pipeline is basically, use AI to generate ideas, rough content, then manually intervene and refine to produce a finished product.
Hi, I'm a beatmaker who relies heavily on AI when composing my songs. In this interview, I'll be sharing how I use AI in my creative process and how it helps me make music. The AI tool I rely on the most for music composition is the Code Generator AI. With this tool, I can select the tempo, instrument, and genre that I want for my composition, and then set up the code progression. Once I have everything set up, the AI generates an endless stream of code combinations until I find the one that I'm looking for. This saves me a lot of time and effort and allows me to experiment with different musical ideas until I find the perfect combination. Now I'm going to show you a couple of songs that I've made with AI. With the help of AI, this basic pop genre is of course possible, and if you apply the code to percussion instruments, you can make music like this. If you go one step further, you can transform into hip-hop or electronic.
잃어버렸던 지난 배운 도사 돈이 몸 안에 도약해 한보다 참아가는 막이 어려운 애 모르거니 우선은 세상을 향해 hir이 똑같게 물러 Overdose 또 addicted to When I be on the mic 맹목적인 목임 참아해줘
Of course, you can make classic music. One of the things I appreciate most about using AI is the freedom it provides. I can experiment with different musical styles and genres without being limited by my own musical knowledge or experience. AI helps me explore new possibilities and take my music in directions that I may not have considered before. Of course, AI is not a replacement for the creativity and musical intuition of human composers. It's simply a tool that can be used to enhance the creative process and expand the possibilities of music composition. Overall, I found that using AI has been incredibly helpful in my music making journey, and I'm excited to continue exploring the potential of this technology.
We spoke with Georgia Poulston, a computer science and artificial intelligence bachelor's student, about how she approaches AI as an expert in the field.
When using the term artificial intelligence, what we are referring to is the part of the machine, computer, or robot that uses a simulation of human skills, such as learning, cognition, and reasoning. There are three types of artificial intelligence: narrow artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and artificial superintelligence. Narrow AI is thus named as its capabilities are limited and task-oriented, designed to work on specific goals. An artificial general intelligence would be more diverse in its capabilities, able to handle a range of different objectives with skill akin to a human. Lastly, artificial superintelligence, which vastly supersedes the intelligence of humans. The latter two are purely theoretical at this point in time, as we have not yet successfully created AGI or artificial superintelligence. Automation seeks to reduce human effort, however there have been concerns raised regarding employment and career displacement. Research studies have been conducted into job displacement in the US caused by automation, however figures have a wide range, from 9% to 50%. With more jobs being completed with automation tools such as artificial intelligence, there is then less need for human labor, which could result in an increase in unemployment figures, which may then put a strain on world economies and potentially cause recession or further income inequality. Workers could also be affected by a sense of dissatisfaction if work no longer feels meaningful. Danaher and Nahom proposed this concept in their research Automation, Work and the Achievement Gap, stating where once upon a time humans could be responsible for producing valuable commodifiable outputs, either through cognitive design of those outputs or physical manufacture of their parts, or, in the case of services, physical and cognitive performance of valuable services. When they shift to the maintenance role, they necessarily take a peripheral role in the production of the valuable outputs. If individuals do not feel their work is worthwhile, stimulating, or they do not garner a sense of achievement from their labor, this can affect motivation and job satisfaction.
After learning about the specific user cases of ChatGPT and how it functions, we'd like to further understand people's attitude, perception, and psychology behind the using of ChatGPT. We conducted a questionnaire of 10 questions which was spread via social media platforms like WeChat, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Some interesting psychological phenomena and how people perceive themselves using ChatGPT will be illustrated through our statistical analysis and data visualization. In the end, we received 100 responses as our random sample. 73% of our respondents are aged between 16 to 30, 22% are between 31 to 45, 4% are between 46 to 60, and 1% is between 0 to 15. This uneven age distribution is due to the fact that young people are the main audience of ChatGPT and they use it more often. Most of the people heard about ChatGPT from social media platforms, while the rest heard about ChatGPT from people they know, news, school, and work. According to our questionnaire results, text generation and search engine are the most popular purposes of using ChatGPT. Other user scenarios are idea generation and data analysis. We also asked people, to what extent did ChatGPT help you to finish your work? However, people don't think ChatGPT was that helpful to a great extent. The mean of the answer is only 5.8, given a scale of 0 to 10. When it comes to artificial intelligence, making mistakes is an inevitable topic. 66% of our respondents claim that they have run into the occasions when ChatGPT make mistakes. However, among those who have seen ChatGPT make mistakes, more than 88% still consider using ChatGPT again next time instead of churning. To understand the performance of ChatGPT, we asked people to evaluate attributes like trustworthiness, reliability, addiction, and fairness of the answers for ChatGPT. The distribution for trustworthiness is more concentrated in the high score range, while the distribution for reliability and fairness is concentrated in the low score range. Distribution for addiction to using ChatGPT is even. We may wonder, if people perceive ChatGPT to be reliable, do they correspondingly perceive ChatGPT to be more helpful completing their work? To answer this question, we conducted a regression analysis, which is a statistical method to examine the relationship between variables of interest. Here we set people's rating on how well ChatGPT helps them complete their work as the outcome variable, and we would like to see how trustworthiness, reliability, addiction, and fairness contribute to the rating on how well ChatGPT helps them complete their work. The relationship is expressed in the form of an equation, which means that if people's rating on the trustworthiness of ChatGPT increases by 1, the rating on how helpful ChatGPT was would increase by 1.35 and so on. After looking at statistical indicators like p-value, only the ratings of trustworthiness and reliability have significant impacts on the outcome variable, how helpful ChatGPT was helping people completing their work. In conclusion, people who consider ChatGPT trustworthy or reliable are more likely to think that ChatGPT is helpful helping them finishing their work. However, there's no such relationship between addiction to ChatGPT or the fairness of ChatGPT and helpfulness. In other words, if simply finishing the work is what people want, they don't need to care if ChatGPT's answer is biased or not, or if they're addicted to using ChatGPT or not. We would like to understand people's perceptions of ChatGPT's roles when they use it to make decisions or creations. 5.3% said that they consider ChatGPT playing a dominant role in their decision-making process, while 94.7% think that they only use ChatGPT as a supporting tool. However, it was a surprise that the mean score of how well ChatGPT helps you complete the work was still as low as 5.8 out of 10, and a lot of people gave low scores on the fairness of ChatGPT's answers. Another interesting finding is that 80% of people who think ChatGPT dominates their decision-making process are aged between 31 to 45, given the context that most of our participants are younger than that. We asked one of our respondents aged between 31 to 45, and it turned out that they face greater unemployment crisis caused by AI than the younger group, and thus they may be more inclined to blindly trust the authority of ChatGPT. In conclusion, people use ChatGPT to dominate their decision-making process, not because ChatGPT helps them to accomplish their tasks. It is because these people trust ChatGPT more and acknowledge its capability and authority. They don't care if they're addicted to using ChatGPT or the answer is biased or not. We took a closer look at the rating of the trustworthiness of ChatGPT across different groups. For example, the rating of trustworthiness of ChatGPT by people who will use ChatGPT again is higher than people who will not use it again if they've seen ChatGPT making mistakes. Meanwhile, the rating of addiction to ChatGPT from the group of people who will use ChatGPT again, regardless of its mistakes, is not always higher than the group of people who will not use ChatGPT again. We came to the conclusion that people who will still use ChatGPT again, regardless of its mistakes, have higher trust in ChatGPT compared with people who will not use it again. Meanwhile, even if they admit that they will use it next time, they haven't realized their addiction and reliance on ChatGPT in the long run. We analyzed the ratings of ChatGPT across different groups. When ChatGPT's decisions and humans' decisions are inconsistent, among those who adopt ChatGPT's decision, if meanwhile they see ChatGPT dominates their decision-making process, their ratings on different attributes of ChatGPT are higher than those who simply see ChatGPT as a supporting tool. On the other hand, among those who adopt humans' decision instead of ChatGPT's, even when ChatGPT is used to dominate decision-making, the ratings on different attributes of ChatGPT are still lower than people who simply use it as a supporting tool. However, the rating on how people think they are addicted to ChatGPT is an exception. Even when people tend to choose their own answers in the event of inconsistency, they are more addicted to ChatGPT using it to dominate decision-making than people who use it as a supporting tool. People become more addicted to using ChatGPT when ChatGPT is used to dominate decision-making and people have to accept ChatGPT's decisions, although they usually adopt their own decisions in the face of inconsistency. It is possible that people feel their decisive role and initiative in decision-making is challenged by ChatGPT. Therefore, people want to prove that their own decision is correct by repeatedly using ChatGPT. When ChatGPT's answers were different from humans' answers, those who adopted ChatGPT's answers rated trustworthiness, reliability, addiction, and fairness were higher than those people who adopted their own answers. Therefore, we can learn that the rating of ChatGPT is related to confidence, and people who are more confident in ChatGPT's answers than their own are more likely to rate ChatGPT's performance higher. Apart from the detailed conclusion drawn from each analysis mentioned above, here are also some further insights in terms of the inconsistency of how people perceive themselves using ChatGPT versus how they actually are, and what those phenomena mean for the society. First of all, regardless of how ChatGPT performs, how well it completes the given task, whether it makes mistakes or not, or whether ChatGPT dominates the decision-making, if the human user trusts ChatGPT more than trusting the person himself, he will unconsciously think that ChatGPT performs well on different attributes. Possible hazard is that people may misattribute the blame for poor ChatGPT performance to themselves. This misattribution exposes people to a vicious cycle of relying on poorly performed AI since they have more trust in ChatGPT than themselves. Their decreased self-confidence from the misattribution inclines them to accept the next suggestion provided by ChatGPT when ChatGPT performs poorly. Secondly, people who just want to get things done with ChatGPT don't care about how biased the ChatGPT answers are or whether they're addicted to using ChatGPT or not, which is also hazardous. The reason is that behind every industry associated with artificial intelligence-generated content, whoever monopolizes the data behind has the power to integrate their preference and criteria, so that the content provided by ChatGPT represents the interests of those shareholders. It is a reinforcement of the centralized monopoly model of the internet world. Now we can see that ChatGPT can potentially be manipulated. If the shareholders take advantage of the fact that people are unconsciously addicted to ChatGPT and don't even care if ChatGPT is biased or not, a new information cocoon is gradually forming without being realized.
This is an interview with Ian, a musician, who uses AI within his workflow. How do you use AI?
I use AI to create artwork for my electronic music project. I think I am probably engaging with artificial intelligence in my daily life all of the time though, and using it in ways that I do not realize.
Do you think this new technology is purely a good thing?
I foresee a lot of danger with the use of AI. I think that there are loads of ways that technology can be used to control and manipulate people. Technology is evolving faster than humans can, and that will cause problems. It might cause employment problems, obviously. I think it might hurt people's mental health. And of course, using electricity is bad for the environment.
Where do you predict AI will bring us next for creative pursuits?
I think that AI will automate a lot of the things that we do as creators. I think it will make it difficult to tell who is an expert in their subject and who is not.
Do you think government will ever have to regulate AI use?
The government will have to intervene eventually. Artificial intelligence can be used for really evil things, like deepfakes, that have the capacity to fake celebrities and politicians. This could be used very badly. We're going to come to a point where the average man is going to have to question what is real on a day-to-day basis. Real and fake will blend into one. I think we will have to use artificial intelligence in order to regulate artificial intelligence. It's really scary. I don't think any more tasks need to be automated. AI could do my finances for me though. Leave the boring things to the robots and keep creativity human.
In conclusion, we can see that the creative industry is particularly vulnerable to the emergence of artificial intelligence. AI can reduce labor costs and automate tasks that are traditionally carried out by creative professionals. As AI becomes increasingly sophisticated, it has the potential to reduce or even eliminate jobs in the creative industries. This could lead to a decrease in demand for creative services, and the resulting economic disruption could be devastating for those who rely on creative services for their livelihoods. AI is also impacting the quality of creative work. AI-generated content can often be of high quality, and often indistinguishable from human-generated content. This could lead to a devaluation of creative work and lead to a homogenization of creative products, where the most cost-effective AI-generated content becomes the de facto standard of quality. Finally, AI has the potential to change the way we look at creativity. If AI can generate complex and sophisticated creative works, it could lead to a shift in the way people view creativity and creative work. This could lead to a devaluing of human creativity, and could have far-reaching implications for our society and culture. On the other hand, AI offers a wide range of applications for artists, designers, and other creatives, from automating mundane tasks to generating new ideas and enhancing creativity. Here are some ways that AI is useful for creatives. One of the biggest benefits of AI for creatives is its ability to automate routine tasks such as image processing, color correction, and formatting. This can save time and allow creatives to focus on more creative tasks. AI can help creatives generate new ideas and approaches to their work by providing inspiration, suggestions, and feedback. For example, some AI tools can analyze past creative work and provide recommendations for new ideas or techniques to explore. AI can help creatives optimize their workflows and improve efficiency. For example, AI can analyze data on past project performance to identify areas for improvement or suggest alternative approaches. In summary, AI offers a wide range of benefits for creatives, from automating routine tasks to enhancing creativity and enabling new forms of expression. As AI continues to develop, it will likely play an increasingly important role in creative fields, helping to push the boundaries of what is possible and inspire new forms of innovation and expression. This will not come without a cost, however. We will have to wait and see just what artificial intelligence has in store for creative industries.